Yeah, what's up, guys? This is gonna be Black Clover chapter review 99, 199 to 202. So, because I pre-read them, I'm just gonna do like a little overview of what I've witnessed so far. And what I want to say is this is juicy. I've been saying for a while, where when is it gonna climax this arc? And this arc is the climax of the climax. This is the build-up of everything. This is 202 chapters worth of build up. So it's pretty crazy, you know. And I don't know where the series is gonna go next because the series is gonna continue, but it's gonna be new content because everything has led up to this moment. So this is kind of like the first major arc in a sense, like the arcs. So it's pretty dope. So with the chapter 199, we get Brother Nozel coming and beating Petra, even in his form, because it turns out he's the natural counter to Petra's magic ability and stuff. So not much substance, so we just see him fight. With chapter 200, it's a bit different though, because we see a bit of redemption from some of the leaders. So, such as, what's he called? Got the dude's name, but it begins with R. I can't think of it. So one of the Midnight Suns leaders, I forgot his name. Is it But despite how much he hates elves, he's getting healed by an elf, by a human. So we see Mimosa healing the elf. So it's kind of like saying, "Oh, all humans aren't as bad as you think," and the enemy is healing and stuff. So that was pretty nice. So, and the rest of chapter 200, we get Asta doing a, I guess he's doing a Naruto on Obito kind of style with Petra right now. So, in order to dispel the darkness that the demon had given Petra, Asta has to dispel the magic off. And as he's dispelling the magic off, he kind of enters his subconsciousness and he sees all his memories and stuff. And I quite like how Asta has acquired the. This guy has actually learned ninjutsu because this guy now knows the no talk no jutsu, talk no jutsu, and it's pretty OP even in Black Clover. You can see that he's definitely inherited it from Naruto, but the way he does it, with the way he goes around doing it is very different to how Naruto does it. It's a bit more straightforward in a sense. And I quite like how simple and straightforward Asta's method is, and it's definitely effective. The main message Asta gives is, you know, no matter how much better you get, I will never forgive you because you killed the Magic King. And you can see that Asta is he's visibly angry about that. But at this moment in time, Asta, because he's mature enough and he's the bigger man, he can see past that, and he knows that he needs to. Petra needs he needs to be the one to what do you call it? Can't articulate right now, but he needs to be the one to fight the demon. So this is kind of a redemption for Petra in a sense to fight the demon. But I like how Asta doesn't forgive him, even though that he knows that he needs Petra to help him. I like that little concept going on. It's not that complex, but you know what I mean. So the comparison I made was to how Naruto was trying to convince Obito to change his ways, and that one, geez, that took the entire Allied force shinobis to persuade one man's mind just for him to die the next, just for him to die a few episodes later. That was pretty crazy. And yeah, it took so much dialogue from Naruto, all the feelings and stuff, blah blah blah, and eventually he got persuaded. There was a lot of emotions involved, but I think I prefer the approach that Tatava Sensei took in this one, where Asta just screamed at the dude. It's like, yo, I know you fucked up, but you gotta fix this shit right now. And I know you're still a piece of shit, but you gotta fix that shit. And that's literally what Asta says, and he's like, yeah, I need to do that stuff. And that's just a summary. And then we got chapter 201 where we've got Licht. Even he's half asleep now though. So I want to see what Licht can do when he's fully awake. But he's fighting the demon now. And even when he's half asleep, he does really well. It's pretty crazy how well he can do. And they seem to have a bit of a history, the demon and Licht. So I want to find out more about that. And it turns out um, the demon's magic actually counters Licht's magic because my word magic can create matter. There is no need to fear the likes of someone wielding only the one sword. Oh, it's because Licht is all about anti magic. So Licht can't actually do. You can't actually nullify physical objects and stuff, which the demon can actually produce. So therefore, he does counter him quite well. But we get the introduction to the Yami coming in and the captain of the Rose Knights, possessed by an elf. But you see a team up like that, and they have some good synergy as well, which is quite nice. And it's quite interesting how Yami's darkness, what's it called? Yeah, Yami's darkness slash actually does damage to the devil, because as I'm reading this, there is a the thing Yami's talking about is how he notices the devil actually decides to avoid getting hit by Yami's attacks. So he's actually susceptible to darkness magic. So quite an interesting thing. So it turns out the demon's not as OP as we think. And then we get that big, massive reveal that's been looming over us for years on end that everyone kind of knew already, but we just never knew if it was gonna take any form or anything, or if it was ever gonna be real. But now it's real. We get a massive plot twist. Nero can talk. I was like, yo, what's going on? So that was that massive cliffhanger at the end of 202, 201. I mean, so we see Finral being all shocked and that, and then Nero is just telling him to go to the which a massive skull graveyard, the one we always see in the opening if you've watched the anime before. So yeah, this is where we see Yami figuring out the devil's actually susceptible to dark magic, so it's quite good. But we also see it's quite nice to see a scale of magic ability. So we have the list as well, so that was quite nice to see, and we see how Yami and everyone kind of scales together. I like how Asta's at the bottom, obviously because there's no magic. Yeah. So the main spotlight of this episode was taken over by Nero, as he's taken to the skull of the demon. So we still don't know who Nero is, but I have a feeling some of my theories could be he is the first Wizard King, something like that. Or I really want to know who he is because he can talk now. Because he was always a bit special as well, because he was always the one to get the magic stones and stuff. And we get a new plot twist into the whole magic stones into the tablet, and there's actually an alternative place to put this magic stones. Turns out you put him in magic the first Wizard King statue instead. So this is pretty crazy what happens though. And with the final sentence is transcending through time, the hidden seal is now. So that's pretty interesting. I guess this is gonna reincarnate the first wizard, and it's gonna be a team up with the first wizard. Ah, I'm losing my ability to speak. Pardon, but predicting next week's episode, I reckon it's gonna be the first king comes back to life, and either Nero's gonna transfer his consciousness because he is the first wizard king, or he's always been an ally of the first wizard king, something like that. So the first wizard king and Lick teaming up with also Asta and Yuno. So this is this could be another Naruto reference, because the author Hataba Sensei, he's definitely a massive Naruto fan. You can see the inspiration in his work. So the 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 concept I'm talking about is what do you call it? the ancestral connection. So the connection I'm trying to make with those four characters is the same connection with the reincarnation of Ashura and Indra. So in Naruto, we had Madara and Hashirama, and they were both incarnates of Ashura and Indra, and Sasuke was in the reincarnation of Ashura, or Naruto and Sasuke were also the reincarnates of Ashura and Indra. So it was Sasuke and Naruto and Madara Uchiha and Hashirama, and they were also the past generations and the current generations. So those four characters, compare it with these four characters. The first was the king and Licht, and Asta and Yuno. I don't know which two we're gonna pair, but my money is on Asta and Licht because he also had the anti magic swords. They were originally his, to be honest, as stated through the series. And we're gonna have Yuno and the First Wizard King pairing up. So it's gonna be that dynamic relations, which is gonna be quite interesting if it is true. So I'm looking forward to the next episode. It's got me all hyped. It's chapter 303. Bring it on, guys. I'll see you guys then.